like, because now when we look at recovery, like when we were in college, even things like sauna and ice bath weren't really a thing like it is now, right? It wasn't really mainstream, nor were like compression boots or red light therapy or all these sort of things. Like, do you think it's because of that you've discovered it later on in life? And after I ran the 10K, like, there was this mindset of, I wonder what else is out there. And I was so new to running that I didn't know much about half marathons and marathons. But so then I ran a half, then I ran a full. And then when I finished my full marathon in 2018, this was in Beirut actually, I was like, I wonder if there's anything longer than a marathon. You know, might struggle to run 1K or 2K and just continues to show up and continues to push himself and follows the training program. And then for us to all witness and be present literally at wherever that person's running, to see them crossing that finish line and that 5K is something so beautiful, man.
Let's flat out. Big teams, big boys, right?
My highs and lows, inherit growth, Mr. Deeds. Went from juggling 3 jobs to CEO like I'm Steve. Never been a rotten apple, call me John Appleseed. That's how I bleed. God can see, no other man can judge me. Call him Mike, Mr. International, getting cream. Single mother told me worth, and now I'm worth everything. Went from Wall Street to Abu Dhabi, straight rolling in a Maserati with women that feel exotic. My life too pristine.
Man, you didn't have to do them like that, man. You didn't have to do them like that.
It was film day.
Yeah.
We gotta make a statement.
Exactly. We gotta make a statement. Last
What's
flight
going
out,
on, man?
Flat out.
Welcome back to the Last Flight Out podcast. I'm your host, Mike. Today we have a very special guest. He's someone that's reshaping the way the Middle East sees health, performance, and community. He's the GCC director of WHOOP. He's also ran 7 ultramarathons in 7 days across 7 Emirates. He's also the co-founder of one of the fastest growing, and in my opinion, the best run club in Dubai, the Uncommon Club, where their ethos is no one person left behind. Welcome to the Last Flight Out podcast, Stefan Muller.
Thank you so much. That was a great intro. I'm glad that you enjoy our running club. It's so nice to have you.
Definitely. How you been? And did you work out today?
I did. I actually just came from a session and did a bit of sauna and ice bath. So I'm both relaxed and very alert at the moment.
Nice. Honestly, ever since I started following your page, it's like that keeps me motivated, where every day it's like, if I think about slipping up, I'm like, he's working out, he's running. Like, I'm like, all right, let me get to it, you know? So
I love that. I also, I get a lot of feedback on the quotes that I post. Yeah. Where it seems all very timely for people, and I only post it if it resonates with me at that moment. But it seems to resonate with more people, which is a nice thing to hear.
No, it definitely does. So one thing before we get into it, we always start off with word association. So I'm gonna say a word, and then you let me know your first thoughts. What comes to your mind?
Just another word?
Yeah, no. You could say one word, or you could just expound upon it.
Okay, got it.
All right. So the word is longevity.
Ooh, I think it's increasingly important. It's something that more and more you just see people getting kind of invested into the space, whether it's on a personal level or business level. And I see a lot of opportunity in it, which is why I think across everything I'm doing now, longevity definitely plays a bit of a role.
Okay. Cool. So let's take it back from the beginning to people that don't understand or know your story, because one thing to note, in person you're actually taller than on Instagram, you know? And so were you always an athlete? What sport did you play? Where did it all begin?
So I'm 6'7" for anyone. I'm sitting down obviously if you're seeing me. I've always been very tall, so for starters, and it's definitely played an advantage when it came to sport. I grew up playing football, soccer, and playing tennis. So those are my 2 main sports. And I grew up in Holland for the first 14 years of my life. So football there is kind of like a religion. Yeah. You kind of have to play it as a kid. Tennis was also a really big sport. Got into that. When I was about 12 years old, I had to choose between the two because I was excelling at both. Tennis by far more. So I chose tennis and started taking that very seriously. I went on a college scholarship to the US, played college tennis there.
Okay. Where'd you play at?
I played at a school called Fairleigh Dickinson University, which is in Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So, I mean, it was a tennis
Tri-state.
scholarship. It was Division One, and not the greatest school in the world, but
Yeah.
certainly a fantastic experience if you're an athlete.
Yeah.
Just living that college student athlete life was something that, like, yeah, it was just beautiful. And I played a few professional tournaments afterwards, and then you quickly, I think, realize when you know you're not going to make it as a professional athlete. Like,
Yeah.
you'll have that one game or that one match, whether it's a team sport or individual sport, where you're just like, I just got my ass kicked and I should really focus more on my studies.
Yeah.
So that happened. Started
Okay.
focusing a lot more on career trajectory and what I really want to focus on from that standpoint.
Okay.
But sport has always played and continues obviously to play a really big role in my life.
Yeah. So I played basketball, and I remember having hoop dreams, and I didn't play Division One, but I played Division Three college basketball. And there's people that made it to the NBA, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go Division Three, average 50 points, and get drafted.
Yeah.
First game, I'm like, all right, I gotta focus on my major.
100%. It's also crazy, like the ratio of people that make it is so small.
Yeah,
Right. I think we
yeah.
forget that when we come up as kids or as students, that we forget about the percentage that makes it. And it just takes a lot of, I think you have to give it everything. Like, you have to sacrifice it all in order to do it. It's not something you can do. The student athlete model as well for me is fantastic. I just don't think it's necessarily the best way to become a pro athlete.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess fitness has always been around. I feel like fitness for you is not about, some people start into the fitness journey as this aesthetics. And I feel like for you, it's more than that. It's, about longevity. It's about, working at Whoop. It's about the data and how are you feeling and pushing things to the limit, or how do you work even better or improve even better? Like, when did that change? Was it always like that in college? Were you thinking like that? Or was it, let me just get better at my sport? I want to look good. When was that switch?
It's definitely never been about looking good.
Okay.
It's always been about performance since I was a kid. It's always been about, I want to become as good at this thing as possible, and whatever tools I can lean on or count on, I will. So whether that's data, right, through the likes of Whoop, whether it's nutrition, whether it's strength training, mobility, whatever it may be,
Okay.
that's always been a big focus for me. And the second point to that, I think, is really pushing the boundaries and understanding both my mental and physical limits. So whatever I'm currently doing in terms of different running challenges are very much for myself, right? It's not really for anybody else.
Yeah.
But it is to show to people that, like, the human body is pretty limitless. Like, there's a lot more you can do versus what you think you can do. And that's really my goal, is to, one, inspire other people, but two, is to really prove to myself of what I'm capable of. And, like, I'm not going to stop until I kind of hit that limit.
Yeah. And I feel like for me as a person, I consider myself an athlete. I feel like I learned these things later on in life, as far as all the tools that are out there, even as far as recovery is concerned, because when we're in college and we're much younger, it's recovery. It's like, oh, okay, I can roll my ankle and I'll be all right, in a couple of days or something like that, where.
Do you feel like that's because of the time that we're in, though? Like, because now when we look at recovery, like when we were in college, even things like sauna and ice bath weren't really a thing like it is now, right? It wasn't really mainstream, nor were like compression boots or red light therapy or all these sort of things. Like, do you think it's because of that you've discovered it later on in life? Or do you think that even when you were in college, recovery just wasn't a priority?
Yeah, it was, you're right. It wasn't a priority. And I mean, no, it was a priority, but it wasn't a thing. It wasn't normalized, I would say.
Yeah, you're right.
Because even in the college that I went to, we had the ice tub and everything like that, but nobody got in it. And it wasn't enforced, where nowadays I have my nephew he's 20 years old and he's in college, and this is like mandatory that they have these sessions, and he's doing it. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, there's like protocols in place.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, that's so true. And I think also looking at like sleep and nutrition and these sort of things, like I don't know about you, but we weren't really educated on the importance of rest and sleeping and other forms of recovery that we did have access to in school, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So yeah, so part of that is probably the time. So I guess getting into what's the mindset of, you did the 7 ultra marathon. When I looked that up, I said, what is an ultra marathon? I'm like, a marathon. I can't even think of doing that. And I'm trying to convince myself to get a marathon in. But
You totally can.
You did an ultra marathon, and 7 of them in 7 days.
Yeah. So
You're a machine, man.
So the backstory to that is like 2.5 years ago, I ran 100K. So I did a 100K race in Italy. And right after I finished it, it's this kind of twisted thing that happens when you finish big races or big ultra runs, is, you know, the next day you can't move your entire body. You're so sore. And I remember so well, it was in Italy, and like we were on the train, a friend of mine and myself, and the only thing I could think of was like, what's next?
Okay.
And I was like, and then I kind of thought back and I was like, why am I thinking about what's next when I can't move my body? But like, that's besides the point. So I was like, I want to do something in my home, which is the UAE.
Okay.
I want to do something with people. I don't just want to do it by myself, which the 100K was very much a solo journey. And I want to push the limit, right? Like I want to do something that I've never done before.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's do 50 kilometers a day. So an ultra marathon is anything above 42.
Okay.
50 kilometers a day, 7 days in the 7 Emirates. And ironically, we got 7 people on board to do it together.
Okay.
And so we did this 10-month training program. And then February last year, we did it. And it was so much fun. Like it was such a fun journey to do together. And I truly believe that when you do difficult things with other people, like when you go through that, you become so close. Definitely. Right? Like even if it's something as simple as doing a difficult workout together, like it's a different type of connection than just having a conversation or like just doing something that's a lot more casual. When you go through something, like we all kind of became like brothers and one sister. It was a lot of fun. Like we had a good time.
Nice. And I guess doing it together, y'all all kept the same pace, and I'm sure
we
that helps.
didn't.
Okay.
We didn't. And you know, contrary to what the Uncommon Club is about, this was very much like it's almost every person for themselves. Okay. Right? Because it's a long, like you're running for 7-8 hours a day for 7 days. I don't want to stick to your pace. You don't want to stick to mine. Like you just want to do your thing and you want to get through it. Yeah. And we aligned very early on. We said, guys, this is, you do you. Okay? Yeah. You're not responsible for me. So if I'm struggling, just let me be. I'll get there. Don't ask me how I'm doing. Just keep on running, keep on walking, whatever it is. Just like get to the finish line, however you can. Yeah. If you really need help, there'll be people around who can help us. Yeah. So, yeah.
And I guess for me, the mentality I would go into it is, I know there's 6 other people doing this with me, so I'm not out here alone, and we have this goal. And then I believe I researched that you did it for a great cause, right? Was it to raise awareness or raise money for Sudan?
For Sudan. So So we partnered with the UNHCR. Okay. This was at a time where, obviously, politically, there's been a lot of unrest in our region, but there's also certain countries that don't really get the attention, right? Sudan was one of them. I have quite a few really close friends from Sudan, so I was connected to what was going on in the country, and I was like, no one's talking about this. So we were very lucky that the UNHCR agreed to partner with us, and so we raised 110,000 dirhams for, particularly for refugees in Sudan, people who were escaping the country and didn't know where they were going to go, so they were at these camps. And it was really just to provide medical supplies. That was kind of the main objective for us. So we're very grateful for everyone that invested, whether it was different companies or different individuals, and kind of at the heart of now what we're doing with Uncommon Club as well. Like we always have that in mind, where it's like, can we use this platform to give back, right? Because we're so lucky to be voluntarily running ultra marathons while people are forcefully running from their homes or from their families or from their country. And and we can't take that luck for granted. So for us, it's always been really important to kind of look at the bigger picture. We're not here alone on this world, right? So I mean, it's very easy to live in a bubble and just to focus on what you're doing on a daily basis. But then as soon as you hear some of these stories, firstly, it just breaks your heart. Secondly, it's like, okay, can I do anything to help? And this was like, I guess, the only thing that we could do at that point.
Yeah. No, that's very noble of you. And, you know, something where it's a feat of, you know, 7 ultramarathons in 7 days, where the spotlight can only be on you. It's when you look deeper, it's, oh no, it's for a cause. So that was great. I was like, wow, you know.
It was also, you know, selfishly, when you're really struggling in runs like that, you start remembering what you're doing it for.
Okay.
I think that's one of the biggest hacks that I can give people is like, yes, do it for yourself, right? But your why needs to be really strong when you're doing difficult things.
Yeah.
Because then when you start having doubts or when things get difficult, you just revert back to why are you doing this? And for everyone had their different reasons, the 7 of us, right? But for me, Sudan was a really big one.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. And then I guess, was there any failures or mistakes that shaped your approach to how you approach anything today or difficult things?
I think I'll take running as an example. With running, I think you need to have really bad runs in order to know what you should not be doing, right? So it's something as easy as, you know, there's been a few runs I've been on where I had a heat stroke, and it's me being underprepared in terms of hydration, maybe starting a run too late, maybe running too long, maybe pushing through when I shouldn't push through. And it's immediately a learning that you implement, right? And then I tell people about this. I'm like, unfortunately, you have to experience runs like that. Like, you have to experience things that it's not always going to go well, and you just have to embrace that, take the learning from it, and then implement it in whichever shape or form. I'm trying to think if there's been like really clear failures in that sense, but I don't think there has been. I think we've also been very lucky, well, at least I have been, to have a really good support system.
Yeah.
So like when I'm training for something, I have phenomenal coaches that we work with, running strength and mobility. They program everything for me. And the only thing they say is like, just make sure you stick to the program. If you stick to the program, you're going to achieve your goal. If you don't, you're not going to achieve your goal. It's very simple.
Yeah.
And so what I've seen in our community or with certain people around me is they miss a lot of workouts, and they, you know, they'll go out a little bit too late, or they'll have the drink that they're not supposed to have. And those are, every time you do that, it just kind of removes you further from achieving your goal. It makes it a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Right. So what I would say is like, you know, be coachable, listen, follow whatever training program you get. And this is mainly for the runners out there, and learn from your mistakes.
Yeah. And that applies to just life in general, you know, just working hard, following a protocol. You can't just go through things, if you have a goal, just winging it and expect to get those results, you know, or just show up the first day and I'm gonna be able to run a marathon without preparing, you know. So
I guess being prepared is like such a big one, right?
Yeah.
It's the same for you when you're gonna run your marathon. Like, I think it's just about giving yourself enough time to be comfortable, to get into the mindset of like, okay, firstly, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah. And
secondly is like just putting a plan in place that fits you, with enough time. 16 weeks for you will be 4-month program is typically great for a marathon.
We good? All right.
Yeah. Just, you know, just in case you were wondering.
All right, cool. No, I'm definitely probably gonna do it. So that's been on my bucket list to knock off.
Okay, fantastic.
But what was I gonna say? As far as, so when did you first get into running? Because if you start off football and then tennis, when does it come to just, I just want to run and I want to run marathons?
So you've probably experienced this with basketball, that running was always a punishment.
Yeah.
Right. It was the same thing with football and with tennis, where it was either part of the warm up or it was a punishment, right? You screwed up, laps. And so running was never really something that I enjoyed growing up. Even like I did a bit of track and field in high school, and you would have to run a mile in PE class and like these sort of things. And I did it, but I was like, this is not, it doesn't bring me any fulfillment in any shape or form. In 2013, I started working at Nike here in Dubai in the UAE. And shortly after, I took over the Nike running division. And so this was anything from Nike Run Club at the time. We organized different races and community events and these sort of things. And I had this thing where I was like, I don't want to have imposter syndrome, right? Like, I don't want to be that guy that knows nothing about running or the running consumer or the running mindset. And, you know, organizes all these things because it seems very inauthentic. So I was like, let me at least start joining the things that I'm organizing. And have conversations with people. And then quickly I was like, cool, like I'll run a 5K. And then I ran a 10K. And after I ran the 10K, like there was this mindset of, I wonder what else is out there. And I was so new to running that I didn't know much about half marathons and marathons. But so then I ran a half, then I ran a full. And then when I finished my full marathon in 2018, this was in Beirut actually, I was like, I wonder if there's anything longer than a marathon. Which was such a weird question, right? And I was speaking to my running coach, who's the same running coach I have today, was my running coach back then. And he had already run 100K. And I always thought of him as kind of like a crazy individual, right? Like, you know, the psychopathic behavior, just waking up at 3 a.m. on a Saturday and like driving to the mountains and running for X amount of hours. And I was like, listen, Joao, do you think I can run 100K? And he's like, yeah. He's like, 1 year of training, you'll be able to do it. And that's when that kicked off. And for me, it's always been this thing of, as soon as I finish a distance, I have to raise the bar. I never kind of do the same distance twice.
What's the record?
The record in terms of
like
distance?
Someone that's,
So as far as I know, there's a concept called last man standing. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, but it's effectively a race where you run 6.5 kilometers roughly every hour on the hour. So let's say you run 6.5 kilometers in 40 minutes. You've got 20 minutes to rest and then you go again. The longest, the person that ran the longest in last man standing ran 798 kilometers. And if you put that into perspective, right, because you're running 6.5 kilometers every hour, this guy was running for like 4 days, right?
Wow.
Yeah. So what's funny is I always say that comparison is the thief of joy. I truly believe in that. And it's always so easy to compare yourself to somebody that's doing more. But you know what? Sometimes it's a good thing, right? Where I'm like, I'm running 160K in February, and then I'm like, man, this dude run 798 kilometers. Like, he ran like 5 times more than what I'm about to do in Feb, which also just means like the human body is capable. Right. So why not shoot for the stars? And why not prepare for that? And why not you? Right.
Why not? Exactly. All right. I mean, well, just to let you know, I mean, I'm sure you know 160K is that's something, man. Woo. But no, it's great. So and then as well as I guess lightly just on, I guess, tools like a Whoop or anything like that, where does that come into play? Where what do you think is the most important thing to anyone that's working out or running to keep track of?
So Whoop was started, so for anyone who doesn't know, I work at Whoop, and I've been working at Whoop for about a year now, a year and a bit, but I've been using the product I've been a member for like 7 years. So I've been on it, and it's added a lot of value to my life. But the brand was originally founded by Will, our founder, 12, 13 years ago. And it was really founded to help athletes understand recovery, the importance of recovery. Because we were very good, and you're probably the same, right? Like, we spoke about this already, like very good at output. Like, we're very good at like, cool, let's do the thing because we enjoy it. But we're not necessarily very good at resting and recovering and giving ourselves enough rest in order to go again. And there's a fine line when it becomes detrimental, where you're just overtraining. And this is such a big issue till date for a lot of athletes. I know a lot of people in my circle that overtrain like crazy. And I think that's where Whoop comes in, right? Like, it helps you understand readiness to perform through all the different data points that we may have. It measures your strain. Your strain is effectively your output. It measures your recovery. How recovered are you from the day before? How stressed are you? It measures your sleep. It gives you your different, like the breakdown of your different sleep cycles.
Okay.
So there's so many little data points that I think anyone could benefit from. It doesn't necessarily have to be an athlete or a high performer. I think if you care about your health and well-being and you want a top-line overview of what's kind of going on underneath the hood, right?
Yeah.
Whoop is that device for you.
Okay. And I guess what do you think is the baseline for beginners so they might not get overwhelmed with all this data? Because sometimes people just don't want to know. They're like, I'm out of shape and I just want to start. As long as I start, that's okay.
Yeah. I think so I can kind of put this into examples of people that I've spoken to that got Whoop and weren't necessarily the fittest people in the world, and we're using it kind of like as the beginning of their fitness journey.
Yeah.
And they were using it a lot for sleep, so really getting enough high quality sleep.
Yeah.
And the other things they were using it for were steps. So Whoop has steps on it.
Yeah.
Which is like a very subjective metric, right, in terms of how important it is to get X amount of steps in per day.
Yeah.
But it is a good indication of how much you're moving.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time, just to simplify and not get overwhelmed in the beginning, people were looking a lot at, or are looking a lot at, sleep and recovery, those two metrics, and then something like steps or calorie exertion, like one of those two.
Yeah.
And that's obviously if you want to also lose weight or you want to gain weight or whatever it may be.
Okay. And then shifting over to why the Uncommon Club, and then how did it start?
So this is funny because like it kind of originated with 777. So 777 was last year, the challenge that we did.
Okay.
And throughout that challenge, we had, it was such an intense training schedule, right? So we were training every day. And I told my coach, I was like, can we have one run per week that's just not super serious? Like, can it maybe just be like 45 minutes so that we can invite friends and family to come and run with us?
Okay, yeah.
And
support system.
Support system, right?
Yeah.
And just also for us, you know, I believe in performance, I believe in working hard, but I also believe in like taking your foot off the gas and enjoying life and having a fulfilled life. So he was like, cool, every Thursday, 45 minutes. I was like, fantastic, we'll do Thursdays. It was 7 a.m. back then. And, you know, we just invited, I would put it on Instagram and be like, I'm running tomorrow at this location. Does anyone want to join? And it started with probably 8 people per week. And then that grew, like before 777, it grew to like 80, 90 people a week.
Okay.
But we considered 777 a brand, right? So we were posting regularly. We had a lot of brand collaborations. We had a partner cafe that is still our partner, which is Fields on Kite Beach. And everyone was so supportive and so helpful. And then we started doing runs for Sudan as well. We ran for Palestine as well a couple of times. So we got really just big crowds coming and like joining because it was more of a movement than it was just another run club.
Yeah.
And when we finished 777 in February last year, I was like, I can't let this community just die, right?
Yeah.
Like we've got to continue doing something. And for anyone who's built a community or brand before, having a community first and then building a brand after is like so much better than building a brand first and then a community, right? So we then went back to our people and we asked them, what do you want to see from the Uncommon Club? And they said, we want technique sessions. Like we want you to teach us how to run properly, talks and workshops, mental health, physical health, social events, and then training programs. So we're like, great. And then we turn it into a business, right? So now it's a membership model, subscription based. The Thursday morning runs are still there for free forever. And that's where Uncommon Club was born. And then it just started taking off. Like I think when you do something consistently, we don't miss a Thursday, for instance, you know? And when you do something thought through and you prioritize the experience of the person that's coming, right? Like Thursday mornings for us, and it's also our Nike background and all these sort of things, but it's always been this thing of like, we want you to have the best running experience in Dubai.
Yeah.
Right? That's the objective. Yeah. Probably in the UAE and the GCC, eventually in the world, where you come in, and from the time you park your car to the time you leave, firstly, you know exactly what to do. It's seamless, it's premium, and you have a fantastic time. And that's how we run this entire community.
Yeah.
It's really based on that. And we treat it like a business, right? Like, we don't treat it like a passion project or like a little side hustle.
Yeah.
We take it very serious.
Yeah.
And which is why we're now looking at like expanding into different markets and like growing the team and like working with different partners. And I think the timing, we're quite lucky. Like, we're quite lucky that running is obviously
now it's
taken
popular.
off.
Yeah. Everybody is trying to get into run clubs, and the actual nightclub is dying down. It's like people want to be healthy and want to be fit, and I'm happy to see that for once. So in society in general.
That's so true. I thought about this a lot as well, where people are substituting their Friday nights and Saturday nights for mornings.
Yeah.
And I think one of the reasons is like quality of connection, right? Like, who am I going to meet at 2 a.m. on a Friday night versus like 6 a.m. on a Thursday? 6 a.m. on a Thursday, the one thing the person you will meet is someone who's like-minded because they care about their health and well-being, right? So if you care about that, then already that's kind of one hurdle that you've stepped over. But 2 a.m. on a Friday night, it doesn't typically end.
Yeah, it doesn't end well. Yeah, I don't know about the quality of people, and I've been out at that time, but I don't know about the quality of people that's there in general. Where at 6 a.m. it's someone with drive and with purpose and wants to improve, at least,
Yeah, and so for us, we just wanted to make it like a very approachable community where you don't just feel like you belong, you actually belong.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we really want to make it a community. Community is such a buzzword, right? Like, everyone is like talking about community, but I think you really have to understand what it is.
Yeah.
And then you have to build it, and then you have to be consistent with it. And those are really at the heart of the Uncommon Club, is what we try to do.
Yeah. No, I could testify to that, because I guess when I first went to the Uncommon Club, I was a little bit intimidated, because I'm like, these guys are top runners. This is their thing. They run, and it's not for beginners. But honestly, I was welcomed by everyone. And it really is. I thought it was going to be the last one or something like that. But it's like just fun. Everybody's just like keeping the pace and like pushing, and you have that encouragement. So it was a dope experience for me. And like I said, at first I was intimidated, like, am I really going to go when these people are in tip-top shape to run and all that? But then when you get there, everybody's just like welcoming, like, come as you are, and let's build from where you're at.
I'm actually really happy to hear that. Like, that means a lot, and it's exactly what we're trying to do. And it's also one of the reasons that, like, it's a 45-minute session, right? So that, like, whether you're walking or running or sprinting, you start and finish at the same time as everyone else. So that when everyone finishes, it's not, and this is the whole no person left behind thing, where it's not like we have a 5K run and it's a time trial thing. No, it's like you start and finish together. We have a smoothie after, we have a coffee after, we all hang out. No one sits by themselves, right? If you see someone sitting by themselves, go and sit with them, make them feel welcome.
Yeah.
And I think that's what like quality connection is all about. And like, in a world where everything's so digital now, and like we're kind of stuck behind our phones, having that those face-to-face interactions that are high quality, I think is more important than it has ever been.
Definitely is. And what's a story from the Uncommon Run Club that stuck with you, that stands out?
For me, it's been, because we have these training programs, right? You have people that would have never run before.
Yeah.
And we would train them for 3, 4, 5, 6 months. And to see kind of this grit and this discipline with people who have never run before, and like their goal is to run their first 5K. And I take running for granted, right? Like for me, running a 5K is fine. Like, I can do it kind of any day. But to see someone who might struggle to run 1K or 2K, and just continues to show up and continues to push himself and follows the training program. And then for us to all witness and be present literally at wherever that person's running, to see them crossing that finish line in that 5K or the 10 or the 21 or the 42, and just to see the reaction is something so beautiful, man. And it's not something that like we, the only person that's responsible for that is that person that did it, right?
Yeah.
We just provide them with tools and guidelines to help get there, and we keep them accountable whenever we can.
Yeah.
So it's not our doing, but it's certainly the most beautiful thing to see. I think that's one thing. The other thing is, like, we've had a few like really fun celebrity runs. Like we had a run with Jimmy Butler earlier this year,
Yeah.
which was incredible. We did a run with Diplo, the DJ, which was also a lot of fun.
Nice.
And so yeah, it's just
How did that come about with both of those?
so Jimmy, I got introduced to by a friend of mine, and he's a great guy. He's a great guy. Our birthdays are like 3 days apart from each other.
Yeah.
We're both the same age. We're the same height, and we just immediately got along when we met. And he was launching his coffee brand here, Big
Yeah.
Face, and he was like, I want to do something with community. So we were like, why don't we just do a run? However many people you want, I'll bring. And he ran with us and hung out with us, and we just had a really good time.
Nice.
Yeah. No, he's a special dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is. Every preseason, I look forward to him because he always gets in character and all that. So I'm sure in person, his personality is just awesome.
Yeah, 100%. He's just a unique person that does as he pleases, right? And in like the best possible. I mean, in the best possible way.
Yeah, yeah. What about Diplo?
Diplo was through Whoop.
Oh, okay.
Diplo was through Whoop. So Diplo is one of our global ambassadors.
Okay, cool.
And I had met him during a shoot that we did in Saudi, and he was like, listen, I'm going to be in Dubai 19th of April. Should we get a run in? And I was like, yeah, just give me a call. And then a few days before he came, he messaged me. He's like, can we actually do a run club experience? And this was on a Tuesday, and the run was going to be on a Saturday. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to have to plan this out and like try to get as many people as possible.
Yeah.
And we literally got I think 200 something people that showed up. And he does these runs all the time, right? I'm not sure if you're familiar, but he has Diplo's Run Club in the US, and he's a great runner. So yeah, that was also a lot of fun, and obviously playing Diplo music in the background, and it was good times.
I've seen that. Shout out to Mr. Chef Code. So
Yeah.
he's a cool guy that I know. We pass each other and all that. I seen him. And I seen him running with Diplo. I'm like, what? Man, you should have told me. At the end, I'm like, you should have told me I would have been there. So that's pretty cool.
He'll be back, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And he'll do another run, hopefully.
Definitely. So we're here in the Middle East, we're here in Dubai. Do you think there's something unique about the Middle East or Dubai that, that wellness is picking up? Because now we have like hotels that specialize in wellness here. There's different wellness retreats. Do you think the region is the leaders in the world, or how can we get there? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I've been here for 22 years. And when I look at like how Dubai has evolved, firstly in general, but also in the sense of health and wellness, it's so special to see. Like for me, Dubai is probably the most unique city in the world, right? Like you don't see the way Dubai is built and the way it's progressed, you don't see in any other place in the world.
Yeah.
Right? Like I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah. If you leave here for 4 months and come back, it's changed.
Yeah, the roads are different.
Yeah, roads are different. But even I think every year they're trying to, or they're putting what's important for the people first.
Yeah,
I believe so.
I think it's a combination of like wanting the best for your people and wanting to be the best at everything.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so now when it comes to health and wellness, I think the city and the country and the region is investing in that really heavily for their people because they want the best for their people.
Yeah.
But they also just want to be the best at it, right? So they're bringing the best people, the best clinics, the best gyms, and the best hotels. Obviously, we met again at Cyro, which is a phenomenal place.
I love that place.
Yeah, I just came from there. Yeah.
Yeah, when I need a reset, I'm booking it for the weekend and I'm just locking in.
And so Cyro, I know they're opening a bunch of locations around the world, but this was their first, right? And so it's exciting to see where it's going to head. And I think another thing is that Dubai and the UAE, I can't necessarily speak for the rest of the region, but they're also very supportive of like homegrown talent and communities, right? Like with Uncommon Club, for instance, we get a lot of people behind the Uncommon Club that are pushing it, and that want it to grow, and they want to see us in different Emirates and basically help communities get active, and it's really special to see.
Yeah. No, definitely. I see that here with just in so many different industries, you know, they're definitely trying to raise up the talent within. And that's a beautiful thing.
Do you see it in Abu Dhabi as well?
So in Abu Dhabi, I see it, but I feel like when the pandemic came, a lot of people left from Abu Dhabi. And then now it's getting back to pre-pandemic. And then you have people that want to take charge and want to build these communities. And I think we're there, but not quite yet. Not like in Dubai where you have people like yourself that's taking initiative. So I think it's coming though.
I think it's coming.
Yeah.
For sure. And I think as an Emirate, Abu Dhabi is also really focusing on just enabling, right?
Yeah.
Communities and people to have access to whatever they need regarding health, wellness, fitness, and sport.
Definitely. What's your thoughts on mental health? How does where do you see that as far as athletic performance? Do you think running is a supplement to that, or where's a component where if you're going to do a hard challenge where therapy is something that's needed, or what's your thoughts on that?
That's such a good question. I'll give you an interesting example. When I was training for 777, we actually partnered with a mental health clinic.
Okay.
And they had approached us and said, you guys are doing this challenge, so you train X amount of hours in the morning, but you're not professional athletes, right? It's not like you do that and then you rest for the day. It's you do that and then you do your job, and then you're with your families, or then you're with your kids, and it's a lot, right? It's a lot, and it's all self-inflicted, right? Like these are things that we voluntarily take on, granted, but it is still a lot. And we each got, like, in this partnership, I think we had like 6 therapy sessions that we got, and
that's amazing. And
so we went and did them.
Yeah.
And I learned so much about myself, man. Like when you start talking about your emotions, she was like, so tell me why you're running ultramarathons. And I was like, oh my God, I wasn't ready for that question. She's like, are you running from something? Are you running towards something? And I think as guys, let's give this example where when we were growing up as boys or as men, when we were hanging out, it would always be you, me, plus another thing, right? So that other thing would be like playing sport, playing a video game, watching, basketball or football. But it would never just be like us sitting and talking. Yeah. Whereas women, that when they were growing up, talking was such an inherent part of their friendship, right? When they're hanging out on the couch and they're chatting about everything and anything. Yeah. And so the ability for men to express their emotions and talk about their feelings is just substantially, less than the way women can do it. And I was realizing that sort of throughout this therapy journey, where I was like, therapy is effectively like a mental gym, right? Like it's kind of like we're very good at taking care of ourselves physically. You can run all the marathons in the world, but like if you don't take care of what's going on in your head, it's a slippery slope. So I started doing therapy super regularly, and I have until last year, do at least 2-3 sessions a month. Yeah. And it just helped me understand what was going on in my head. Yeah. Good or bad. Yeah. Right? Things to work on. Yeah. Things to acknowledge. Things to sit with. Yeah. Versus just constantly distracting yourself from it. It's very easy if you're facing a difficult thought and then be like, okay, let me just go run. Yeah. You're still not going to deal with it. Yeah. Right? You're just going to keep suppressing it until it like bubbles up somewhere when you don't want it to happen. Yeah. And so I'm a big believer firstly in therapy, but I'm also a big believer in just like speaking to your friends and talking about your feelings. Like definitely. I feel like with guys there's always a stigma of, don't show weakness, but I think it's actually vulnerability, strength. So it is. Having that conversation is pretty important. Yeah.
Here at Last Flight Out, that's what we advocate for, whether it's through, professional therapy or just talking with your friends, but that's very important, especially, from a male's point of view or perspective. Yeah, we definitely grew up not being told to like express this man up, and figure it out on your own. And so,
are you good at it? Are you good at talking about with your friends or with a therapist or whatever maybe?
With my friends, I feel a shift because like even in our group chats and things like that, or when we meet in person, it took one person to, I started going to therapy, and and everybody's quiet. And then it's, a month later, which one did you go to? Or I signed up for an online thing. And then slowly, so now it's common where it's like, we go to therapy and then we talk about it and things like that. So
that's amazing.
Yeah. And I think like we discussed earlier, just with the times, you see public figures speaking about it. And it's like, I think I need to talk to somebody because there's some things within me that I didn't get out. And it's maybe why I react in a certain way, or maybe this is why I communicate in that way. So
yeah, it's nice to see it becoming a bit more mainstream.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. And it's funny, since you mentioned there's always, in a guy's relationship, it's always like me, you, and something else. All my friends are through sports.
Yeah.
Even when I moved to this country 10 years ago, I didn't know anyone here. I just went to a basketball court, and that's how I made my first friend. Like just going to a court, like, hey, where you from? And just shooting hoops and all that, So yes,
it's always crazy. That third thing, man. And I became so like aware of it when I was like hanging out with my boys, and I was like, we're always doing something,
Yeah.
Like we're always watching something or playing something. Yeah,
definitely. Quick one. What are 3 rules for living uncommon?
Oh, great question. I think the first rule is like trust your gut. When you receive experience or when you receive advice from somebody, it could be coming from a good place, but the advice is always given through the lens of their experience, right? So simple example would be someone who's worked in corporate all their life, and you're thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, and you ask that person for advice. The advice is going to come from corporate standpoint, right? It's going to be, what about security? What about safety? What about this? What about that?
Yeah.
So for me, it's kind of like listen to your gut, because your gut, with me at least, has been right 90% of the time.
Yeah.
Right. And whenever I've listened to somebody and taken their opinion too seriously, it's often been in my detriment.
Yeah.
So the first thing I would say is listen to your gut. The other thing I would say is don't mind what everyone else is doing, right? If you have big goals and if you have big dreams and you think you can get there, don't let the opinions of someone else kind of dictate where you're going to go in life.
Yeah.
If you want to become an entrepreneur, if you want to start a business, if you want to have a running club, if you want to have a basketball club, whatever it may be, if you want to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve, I think just go for it. Like, I think brings me to point number 3. Life is so short, right?
Yeah.
Life is so short.
Yeah.
Like, I think about this so much now where I'm like, I want to do everything, right? And I'm not going to wait to do it. Like, if I want to do something, I'm going to do it. And people always come to me like, you know what's funny about you? Like, you always say, you do what you say you're going to do. And I'm like, why would I do anything else? Right? Like, if I say I'm going to do something, or if I really want to accomplish something in life, I don't want to wait for 10 years from now, for 20 years from now.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately is why I'm really bad at saving money as well. It's because I'm just like, I'm going to invest in this business. I want to start this. I want to do that. I want to build. I want to create. I want to live a rich life, a fulfilled life.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
Right? Uncommon means like, you're just different from everybody else. Yeah. Right? And you should be, because you're unique.
Yeah.
So you should embrace that.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot more where that came from, but those are kind of my main thoughts.
Okay. And at the end of the day, you got to look in the mirror and you got to wake up. And if you're not happy with yourself, then it's, what are you doing this for? Just to please everyone else. So, and I think for a lot of people, even for myself, it took some time to like, hey, I just want to be happy. Let me just do what I want to do. And, you know, so
what like triggered that shift? Like, what kind of decisions did you make as soon as you came to that realization?
So even for instance, like starting this podcast, you know, I feel like a lot of people sometimes put like they reflect on you. So if they don't see you as this big star, celebrity, or something like that, it's like, oh, who's gonna come on your podcast? You know,
Who are you to start a podcast?
Yeah, exactly. Who are you? Like, what do you have to say? Like, you're not special. And you know, me and my co-host, shout out to Jay, you know, we believe that it started off with us, like, you know, having a unique story. And then it's like, we want to capture other people's unique stories. And it was only after some time that people are like, oh, you know, it's pretty good. I like what you guys are doing. Like, when's the next season? When are you dropping next? It's like, oh, you watching us. So, you know, I just learned that. And it's with other examples as well. But for me, it's when I do what makes me feel right, and when the intention is there and it's coming from a place of just love, and I just want to be better and create a community.
I think those are really important things. Like that intention piece is like, why are you starting this podcast? And, you know, worst case scenario, it's because, not worst case scenario, it's probably because you want to have high quality conversations. Yeah. Right? Like, you want to get to know people, you want to highlight their stories. It's not because I want to be number one on the charts. Yeah. Right? I want to make a lot of money. Like, those are effects of you having true intention.
Yeah, exactly. So what's next for yourself and the Uncommon Club?
For myself, I'm running 160K in Feb, so I'm training really hard for that.
Here?
In New Zealand.
Okay.
But there's actually 35 people from the Uncommon Club going to that race. Okay. All running different distances. So we're all training for that kind of as a community, which is really fun. So that's actually also what's next for the Uncommon Club. We're looking at expanding into different cities. Mm-hmm. So stay tuned for that. Like, that will hopefully happen really soon. Okay. And
hopefully AD. I'm team
hopefully
AD.
Abu Dhabi. Hopefully Abu Dhabi. It'll be great. And I'm, you know, a delusionally ambitious person. So whether it's with Whoop, whether it's the Uncommon Club, or with myself, or with the people around me, and like, my goal is really just to provide people kind of with the tools and resources to become the best version of themselves, whether that's through Uncommon Club or Whoop or my content or whatever it is. So for me, it's very important to just stay aligned with me, with what's authentic to me, and make progress on all fronts on a daily basis. I think that's just another quick piece of advice. Like, if you're feeling like, you know, you have action paralysis, or whether things are really difficult in life, or you don't see where you're going in it, I think just make progress. Like the smallest progress, right? Like, for a podcast, it could be something as small as sending one email to a potential guest. With starting a business, it could be something really tiny. With running, it could be something really small. But like, just make progress, because progress compounds, which I think is an important thing to keep in mind.
And I think a saying that you mentioned one time, you was like, you like to get the hard things out the way first. Yeah. And that comes with your workouts, right? So I guess if you do the hard things, or do the things that you don't want to do, that you're scared to do, the rest is easy.
I think the most important thing I'll say on this podcast is if you can put yourself through voluntary discomfort. So training is voluntary discomfort. Getting in a sauna and ice bath, voluntary discomfort. Waking up early, voluntary discomfort. If you can do that, and you effectively doing hard things on a daily basis, when involuntary discomfort comes around, right? So God forbid you get fired from your job. God forbid there's a death in the family or in the friend circle or whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. This prepares you for it. Yeah. This prepares you for it. Like, I've had times where, you know, I get a really tough email that I need to read, and I'm just like, I just ran 100K. This is nothing. Yeah. I can deal with this, right? Yeah. It just life becomes a lot easier to deal with when you voluntarily do hard things, and I think a lot more people should focus on that.
Nice. A lot of gems dropped today. Let the audience know where they could find you, the Uncommon Club, Whoop as well.
Fantastic. So Whoop is whoop.com. We deliver to a lot of countries in the world, so you should be able to get it to wherever you are. The Uncommon Club is the Uncommon Club. with 2 E's, the Uncommon Club on Instagram. And then Stefan runs DXB, STEPHAN runs DXB on Instagram.
Definitely follow him. You're going to get motivated. So
Thank you.
that's the truth. Thank you once again for joining us today. You can find us at the Last Flight Out podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and on Instagram. Thank you so much. See you guys later. Peace.
My life too pristine.
Man, you didn't have to do them like that, man. You didn't have to do them like that.
It was film day.
Yeah.
We gotta make a statement.
Exactly. We gotta make a statement. Last
What's
flight
going
out.
on, man?
Flat out.